I got Tyler Hansbrough with me, and since we got T here, we got to talk about North Carolina, who went on the road to South Bend and knocked off Notre Dame in a game where Marcus Burton was back. He was back from the injury. I think he had 21 off the bench. He was there was a stretch there where he was the best player on the floor. That is a better win than it looks on paper right now, and it happened because Elliot Cadeau hit a three and one 4-point play with, I think it was 4.8 seconds left. But that's not what I want to talk about here. I want to talk about Ian Jackson, a.k.a. In Jackson here, Tyler. You said he was the best freshman in the ACC. And I know that you believe that with your whole heart, probably because you are a Tar Heel. But he's been unbelievable. I think it's 5 straight games, right, that he scored 20-plus points. He has been a complete difference maker, and it looks like he is a guy. I don't know if I necessarily saw this coming, T. I don't know if I saw him being this kind of a guy moving forward. Just talk to me about what you've seen out of Ian Jackson.
Well, first of all, Cooper Flagg has gotten so much hype and so much attention that I think it's already automatically written that he's going to win all the awards. And my only point in saying that is that, listen, hey, there's a lot of other freshmen out there playing big-time basketball. You look at Illinois, KP's having an unbelievable year. And then you look at my Tar Heels, even though we're struggling a little bit, In Jackson has been a breakout player. He's had big-time games, and he continues to get better and better. And also, he has taken over some of the games. There's been moments in games where, especially against, like, you watch the Florida game, In Jackson took over in the second half and basically has become a highlight show. And athletically, he has the athleticism to just elevate over a defender. He can get you a bucket. He can take players off the dribble, and also he will get out and run. Now, I know that Seth Trimble has been injured, and played very well against Louisville, even though he lost. And then he went on the road at Notre Dame and played unbelievable again. And for a freshman, especially on the road, to play as well as he's been playing to start pretty much all conference games, I'm looking forward to him, especially because he continues to get better and better as the season goes on, as confidence develops. There's going to be a little challenges, and this could be a player that potentially challenges Cooper Flagg for Freshman of the Year, which I think in winning it, the odds are against him just because of the amount of hype from Flagg, and obviously he's playing well, but I think he could challenge him just a little bit.
Hey, look, he keeps scoring 23, 24 every single night, T.O. It's gonna be very easy to look at it and say, hey, you know what? This guy right here is pretty good.
No, he's really good. Can you hear me? First of all, my mic has been popping on and off. But no, I think you referenced the Florida game. The Florida game is almost like it's that second half in the Florida game, it springboarded his confidence to a whole new level. And with Trimble going down, hey, man, like, I'm just going to be honest. It's kind of refreshing. And I'm not saying I love Seth Trimble, but like, you sit out some games and you're injured. And I don't, what's his injury? What's his injury before I start going crazy?
I don't think they've really.
I watch games,
maybe a lower body or something. Yeah.
I watch games with the volume off. So, like, I don't know what his injury is. He's out. Dude, you don't play games. Somebody's coming for your freaking spot. Like, I think that has been lost these days. Like, if you don't play in a game, somebody's going to show up. They're going to play well, and they're going to take your spot. That spot's Ian Jackson's. It's not going back. And if it goes back, somebody needs their brain examined. Ian Jackson is and has been awesome. I'll be honest, guys. Him shooting 40% from three, curveball for me. I saw him play several times in AAU before he got to Carolina. Great off the bounce, super strong build, super quick. You knew he was going to be a plus defender. I didn't know he was going to shoot 40% from three. I didn't know he was going to be able to come off screens and be able to knock down shots. And maybe that's my naivete. I'm sure some of these recruiting experts will come back, well, you didn't watch enough. Well, you're probably right. I only saw 2 or 3 games. But I didn't see him play or shoot very well in those 2 or 3 games. He's been awesome. He's coming off screens. They're setting up plays. And if you look at the game, like, he's finally giving RJ a little bit of a breather. So now RJ is not the only person that has been struggling. I thought it was very telling whenever North Carolina played Louisville, Chucky Hepburn started off on RJ. They left RJ to go get Ian. And that to me, that's a lot of respect for a freshman who's really starting to find his rhythm and get into gear. You play him less than 35 minutes in the last, 15, 20 games of this season, you better not, because he's going to give you a chance to win every single night. And let's be honest, too. I had Notre Dame a couple days ago. Mike is still very much in the throes of trying to rebuild a team. And he's being allowed to do it a certain way, which is going to take some time. But they're going to be tough, and they're going to lose some games, but they're going to be close. To be able to squeak one out and have a Princeton grad transfer foul a three-point shooter with no time left is, hey, man, sometimes lucky's better than good. This was one of those cases right here. And if you're a North Carolina fan, you take it and you run with it, because you can't afford to lose games like that.
What do you do? That's you made a point about Seth Trimble, right? What do you do here, Tyler, when he gets back and he gets healthy? Because I feel like if you're going to put your 5 best players on the floor, RJ, Ian, Seth, and Elliott are probably the first 4 guys on that list of who your best players are. Can you just roll with this squad and just say, hey, we're going with 4 guards? Like, we're going with the 2006 Villanova look, Randy Foye, and all those guys. I feel like that is probably what I would do, and just lean all the way into the small ball idea and let it just go with a Jalen Washington, Jalen Withers, Van Allen Lubin rotation at the 5 spot. That feels small, but you want to get those guys on the floor. Like, you got to get them all out there.
Yeah, and I would say, I like that take, and it's kind of the direction that we're trending. The one thing about and adding him into the lineup or giving him more minutes is it provides RJ a little bit of relief, like T.O. said, is I really felt that a lot of shots that RJ was taking, especially in the half-court sets, they're contested, they're challenged, they're hero shots, and the amount of energy he's exerting to get a decent look is unbelievable.
Yep.
And it's not sustainable. And defenses are loading up on RJ and just making everything difficult for him. And a big part of that is because of our lack of outside shooting from the other guards that are on the court with RJ. And if we have a player like Ian come in and really break out and provide a lot of scoring, maybe that's going to, provide enough relief where RJ can get into the flow and be the player that we all thought he was going to be this year. But back to, the 4 guards, I totally agree with that. And another kid, Drake Powell, who is a freshman and continues to get better and better and does a lot of different things besides just scoring. He can provide you some rebounding. He can also lock down other players. He can play defense. He has the athleticism. He will get out and run and do a lot of different things besides just scoring. Kind of similar to the way that Seth impacts the game. What I really like about Seth's game is he's a very good defender. He's our best on-the-ball defender. And I really felt like if you look at the Louisville game, we could have used him down the stretch against Hepburn, who kept, just penetrating and finding his way inside the paint and just went to the free throw line every single time. It kind of felt like we couldn't stop from fouling Hepburn and sending him to the free throw line. I think you've got to have Trimble play big minutes, whether that's starting or coming off the bench, just because he's too good of a defender. And also the way that Trimble attacks the rim, gets out and runs in transition is a big it's a big emphasis in the way that we want to play at Carolina up and down this year, especially. I think he does too much on the defensive end and runs too hard to really not give him big minutes.